welcome back to what is potentially the finale of Season 1 of Night Fight. As always, I'm your host, Rip Richards.
I am exotic weapons expert, Darth Fitz.
And I'm Mr. Or go fuck yourself.
We have a name.
It's true.
Today's episode is all about one man and his challenge against one of our toughest challenges that we can throw at him, the Gauntlet. Will he be able to push himself to the top, or will his obstacles overcome him and bring him all the way back down?
It's set to be an exciting day of combat.
Sounds very dramatic.
It will be. Let's see our challenger.
The brain, the body, your soul. The heart, the brain, the body, your soul. Get it, put it together, time to let your mind go. The power, the pain, you lose control. Put it together, time to let your mind, come on.
As you can see, I went through a few physical changes as well as some mental changes that have been anxiously waiting these past few months for this moment right here. And training my ass off and thinking, preparing in every possible way to finally win today, take my place as the Night Fight Tournament champion. 15 minutes is a very long time. Haven't really been doing any endurance training, so that's going to be interesting to say the least. Also been told in advance who I am fighting, and once again, it will be interesting to say the least. But with my weapon loadouts that I've chosen, I'm confident as ever, I'm ready as ever, and it's about time. Finally show the world what I can do. That's right, folks. Owen the Phoenix will be challenging the Gauntlet. The rules, very simple. Survive. Owen the Phoenix is going to have to fight 3 separate fights against 3 separate challengers with 3 separate loadouts. And all of the fights will be just one heat. 5 minutes straight.
Ooh. A test of endurance.
And he has to win all 3.
Truly a test of might indeed. And with the 3 fights ahead of him, let's see who his first opponent is.
It's been a while. I'm back. If you guys remember, I went through a horrendous injury, and it's all a little bit cloudy, but I somehow made it. I think through a miracle, and I'm back. But that doesn't mean that I just spent time not doing anything, not preparing for this fight. I've been doing everything I can, and I'm taking on this challenge. And I think I can actually come through and show them that even through this injury that I'm going to come back full swing, and I'll show them what I can do. So all I gotta say is be ready in Phoenix, because I'm coming full swing, and I'm giving everything I got. This won't be an easy fight.
Fuck, I thought that guy was dead.
Why the hell?
Edwin the Big Mac returns to the Night Fight stage.
It seems not even death can get you away from this show. Jesus.
Is that plan?
This has the potential to be one of the greatest comebacks in Night Fight history.
I don't know. While apparently he survived the gunshot wound, that is just not something you walk away from. It takes, the human body needs time to heal and recover, as well as his mind, as that is kind of where he got, well, shot. Edwin the Big Mac, returning from the dead. This is a bit of a shocker. I'm glad he's alive, but also I am gonna have to now put him back down. He's tough. He's able to survive a bullet, but he spent 6 months and recuperating, and let's just say with my double-bladed longsword, I think I could take him.
We'll see if the injury has any impact on his strategy or physical abilities.
Precisely. And even with his impressive endurance of, being shot and surviving and walking, he's never really been the strongest contender on the show either. Unless he got that, aura buff from a certain background character.
Yes, of course. Well, let's see who comes out on top in the first match of the Night Fight Gauntlet.
And they're off.
There they go.
What is he doing?
If I remember, I can't remember if my memory recalls, but is this the first time Edwin has dual wielded?
I believe so. And it shows.
Yeah.
He's clearly doing a defensive technique with his forward sword and just waiting for an opportunity to hit with the second. It's it's clearly not very.
Meanwhile,
coordinated
Owen
with
is
it.
just taking a very calm, actually, kind of approach, and using possibly one of my favorite weapons.
Well, it does make sense that Owen's taking a calm approach. Edwin's basically applying no pressure. He's
When
really
he's-
defensive.
And in a massive test of endurance, and he would want to put all the pressure on Owen, because right now it's not about Edwin winning, it's about Owen losing.
Seen a lot of fancy poses here from Edwin, but not a lot of actual technique.
Well, it is a long fight. He could be conserving his energy, waiting for later in.
Sounds like a coward's technique.
But with all that training he's claimed he has, he needs to apply it now. He has the full 5 minutes, while Owen needs to be the one focusing on defense and conserving energy, as he has 15 minutes of just non-stop fighting.
I have no idea what Edwin's trying here.
He's backed into a corner.
All that's been happening right now is Owen has just been, pushing and a big slap across Edwin's arm.
That's what I like to see.
It's big points in Owen's favor.
And Edwin has ditched one of his swords.
Alright, that's probably the smartest move. Go back to basics, go back to what he may or may not know.
Because the Elven Longsword really is a two-handed weapon.
Even so, we saw in last episode, he wielded it quite effectively with one hand. Maybe he thought by adding a second blade. Oh, he's
And immediately the aggression has
Gaining some
spiked.
ground.
These are really impressive trades, though. I like this exchange,
Much more pressure coming from Edwin now than previously.
but not many hits are still being made.
There's clashing. No points either side.
Testing
Gaining ground again.
testing each other's boundaries, fighting for the space.
Yeah, 5 minutes is I think the longest these fighters have gone in one straight go. So I don't know if any of them are actually used to this type of endurance.
Single hand technique there?
Yeah.
Keep pushing Edwin out of bounds. Set.
And here comes Edwin, but Owen just, with that huge blade, just
Unrelenting.
right in the
Right in the
face.
face.
Oof.
Legal hit, but still.
He's gonna feel that one in the morning.
Oh, he seems angry.
Owen, is that Owen smiling too? He is just, he's having fun with this.
Eating it up. Knows how close victory is, but still has a long way to go.
Get the back cam here.
Oh, we also forgot to mention, it's been a long 6 months, and in that time, our Phoenix has shaved down his, shaved down some of his hair.
Lost that majestic mane.
For speed and aerodynamics,
Naturally.
no doubt. Ooh, some helicopter action going on there.
Owen's training with that weapon. It shows with all the fancy flourishes.
Edwin trying to gain some ground here.
And now Owen's just showing a lot of intimidation with what he can do, and Edwin's... Oh! You know, Edwin... I don't know if...
Whoa!
Oh! It's a big
big
launching. Oh!
He's pushing Edwin back all the way across the entire stage.
Excellent aggression.
I do not think that was the right call for Edwin to be the one, him being the one to call and taunt at the Phoenix. And
That's time.
That was some fight.
Yeah, it was definitely a fight.
The big thing that I noticed with that fight was control. Owen had complete control at that fight.
The big thing I noticed that Owen didn't even get hit.
A flawless victory, some would say.
Whenever he wanted to, he would push Edwin back. Whenever he wanted Edwin to come back, he'd let him. He had full control of the flow of the fight. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was super calm. Edwin was struggling, especially in the first half, with the dual wielding and trying to figure out on the fly.
Tried to course correct in the middle of the fight by ditching the offhand weapon and focusing on just the longsword, but
Which is definitely the best thing.
Which was arguably his best move,
Possibly too late.
but it would have been better if he spent his training on refining those fundamentals and putting and helping and realizing he needed to be the one to apply pressure, not the other way around.
He's got to start using that hole in his noggin.
his fighting definitely improved after the switch, but I don't think it was enough to make up for Owen's aggression and complete dominance over the space of the arena.
And with that, I think we can safely say Owen the Phoenix has taken the first fight.
Indeed.
But his fight is far from over, as this is only the beginning.
Let's see who his next competitor is.
This is something you ain't seen before. Strapped up for the battle coming at us, then we'll go to war. Feel the power rushing to our core. Before we hit our limit, bitch, we didn't bow to show you more. One man but a unit. Stand down and get clapped when we lose it. Big bang when we fuse it. Straight heat when we do shit. Roll up if the beat bangs, we abuse it. When man's looking stupid.
Alright, it's me, the fan favorite, back again. I almost got my ass knocked out of the tournament. That wasn't super fun, but, I'm still in it, and I'm definitely not going to let Owen the Phoenix just end this the way he wants to end it, without putting up a fight. Back on my trusty arming sword, and my old shield. So I'm going to be in peak form using the style I know best to force him to earn that Night Fight Championship.
Liam the Oracle, back again.
Liam returns from our Night Fight exchange program where we got...
Ah, yes! We exchanged him for that French dude.
Yeah, it's a shame that didn't work out.
Yeah, that probably was a bad idea.
The shooter.
In hindsight.
Possibly in foresight as well.
All the sites, just bad idea.
But now that he's back from seeing the sights, he's ready to fight again.
Liam the Oracle. I training partner. Me and him have trained together in and out of the battlefield. He knows all my moves, I know all his moves. I feel like this one's going to be more of a mental strategy game rather than a full-out assault, but we'll see. I'm taking you down, Liam. Liam is possibly the one person who knows Owen eternally best. These two have been training off the battlefield the most after these fights, before these fights. If anyone's going to know what Owen is thinking, it's going to be Liam the Oracle.
That definitely seems to match up with his weapons choice as well. At least that big shield. He knows how aggressive Owen is, so he chose to really increase his defenses there in order to hold out for the whole 5 minutes.
A smart move. We've seen in the past Liam the Oracle struggle with managing his stamina and his resources over the course of our standard bouts. It'll be interesting to see how he copes with the added challenge of the endurance of this extra long heat.
But at the same time, he is also the more aggressive fighter in general from our roster. So, in this situation, that could be used to the advantage. Maybe not for him in this fight, but for his opponent for his next fight.
Let's get to it.
Oh.
And they're off.
Begins.
Sword and board versus longsword.
Ooh.
This is one weapon that Owen has also put in a lot of lab time, especially working. Possibly because he also knows that. Oh, we're also seeing a
Liam trying to maintain that defense.
And it looks like we got a little rain earlier, so that really adjusts the battlefield conditions here.
Yeah, and also, it looks like as well, we're definitely seeing a lot more. Oh, nice!
Oh.
That was wonderful technique. Getting a nice slice on Liam's legs. Oh. Oh! Wait,
These are good hits
these
from
are-
Owen.
Yeah, really good hits. On top of Liam being a little more aggressive than our previous combatant,
Trying to focus on Owen's legs.
his usual style.
A lull here. Owen seems to be
Ready to
ramping up
strike.
here.
Oh, and
Oh.
there's the
Oh,
he
but-
took it. He took it in.
Liam got the counter. Looks like some minor
lot of-
damage to that shield there.
A lot of aggression. It is his original shield, which from our previous episodes we know has taken quite the beating. Let's say Owen still has a minor advantage just from current hit count.
See Liam trying to make the most out of that shield to cover some of his more aggressive approaches.
Just keeping that shield between them.
Letting Owen take the aggro here a little bit. Oh,
Oh,
Get that poke.
trying to go in for the head.
trying to parry his best here.
Oh,
Solid deflection there.
Liam had his sword ready. He could have easily gotten a hit in there.
Oh, going for this technique, and it's
Ooh.
the
Some
sword
arm
binds.
contact there, I think.
Oh,
Oh, that
it-
was a hit on the face, it looked
yeah.
Owen got a little counter there.
Oh,
like. Shakes it
there.
off.
shaking off the uppercut. Ow.
Oh,
Ooh.
Jab straight
Punished
to the
in
middle.
turn.
Jab. Owen is putting a lot of the attacks though on focusing mostly on Liam's shield
surprising degree of restraint here, honestly, from Liam the Oracle.
from both of them as well. Oh, yeah.
Straight jab.
Straight thrust right into the abdomen.
Got a low hit. Oh,
Using one hand to kind of nice.
making use of the shield and the crossguard here to try and keep that defense up.
He's shaking off the shock of the initial of that hit, so now he's back in.
Oh, sword actually caught on the notch on Liam's shield.
Oh,
Oh,
trying to twist his sword in there, even after the bind. Oh, that's the leg, I think.
Hard to tell.
oh,
That's
that was
definitely a
a
clean
leg.
hit on the leg.
Straight away.
Another strike there, it looks like.
I think that was crossguard.
Oh!
He's kicking the shield. Oh, my
Oh,
God,
what a
get
trade!
punished.
The acrobatics on display. And trying to regain some of the space here.
Oh,
Pushing it.
oh,
Thrusts.
oh, oh my god.
Now this is some of the aggression we've come to expect.
Owen is working overtime trying to get those deflections off.
Exchanging.
Oh, he is.
Caught again in the shield.
Looks like the shield's starting to bend from the.
And the hat is off!
Thrown the hat. But has he thrown in the towel? No, he's thrown,
He's
in
thrown the shield!
Oh, but Owen. Oh!
He appears wounded on the arm, still trying to keep it up.
Oh, wow.
straight through.
Pulled him in. And, oh, this is
And
high.
forced to the ground and
Yeesh.
disarmed.
This is. Oh.
Will he?
Owen's demanding a yield.
Will the Oracle oblige him?
He yielded.
Never did I think that we'd see the day that Liam the Oracle yielded in the middle of combat.
It is quite a shock indeed.
With the loss of all of his equipment, since he didn't have much of a choice, frankly.
Yeah, by the end, I think both fighters, especially, were starting to feel the actual endurance and toll that this endurance will take. And Liam just went in a last-ditch effort to just throw everything and go all in, but Owen had a very lovely technique to finish him off.
Precisely. 5 minutes is such a long time for a fight, and they were reaching the end there.
A shame, since we did see some really solid fundamentals from Liam using his tried and true sword and board style, only for him to be disarmed and forced to throw in the towel.
After throwing everything else.
So, yes, with the forfeit, that's an automatic win to Owen.
Owen has won his second match, but he is still not done, as he now faces, possibly, his toughest opponent yet.
Let's meet him now.
Inside out, yeah. I'm floating around in ecstasy. So don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. A shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva.
It is now up to me to stop the frankly, those first two fights, I don't know what Mr. Big Mac and the Oracle were frankly doing, but they were not pulling their weight, and I don't think it's going to be much of a problem at all. I've been training hard for this, been playing a lot of Beat Saber, ready.
Jason the Druid.
Who would have guessed?
I think a lot of people.
I had a feeling it would come down to this.
These two have been equals in every single one of their 1-1 fights, with Owen literally be winning out by just centimeters, by one tiny little movement that was able to get him just barely to the finish line. Jason the Druid. He's definitely been the toughest fighter that I've gone up against here on Night Fight, and I'll be at a slight disadvantage, if not a full disadvantage, after 10 minutes of fighting the other two. So, we'll just have to see. I'm going to give it my all, and I'm going to win.
Many of our closest fights in the show's history have been between these two considerable warriors.
That's why I'm extremely excited to see this fight. Both of these guys bring to the table.
Owen is already at that disadvantage. He has fought 2 fights already. 10 minutes of exhaustion is falling onto him. With Jason being fresh as a daisy, with a pretty considerable loadout too. The odds are not in Owen's favor, but something tells me his spirit is not yet broken.
Let's get into the fight.
In we go.
Alright, here we go.
Oh,
The Naginata and Buckler Shield versus the Nagamaki.
Battle of Eastern Weapons. Let's see here.
Owen has previously defeated Jason with the Nagamaki when he was using the People Cleaver. Oh. Both are
Thrust
keeping.
there.
Both have long range weapons, so both are
Yeah, keeping the distance. This is
keeping
a very,
distance.
Very interesting fight. Just very much range here.
A lot of hokey pokey. Emphasis on the pokey.
And then they're gonna just turn themselves around.
That is what it's all about.
Oh my! He slapped the Naginata out of Jason's hand.
Jason
Wow.
quick with the draw with the short sword. but
That was very quick.
Now at a
But he's
disadvantage here in
at
terms
a little
of
bit
range.
of a range disadvantage, yeah.
Trying to close the
Oh,
gap
and Owen's
though.
now
Only closing the
holding the sword, but Jason's also blocking Owen's use of the
Pushing
Nagamaki.
with the
This is
shield.
intense. And Jason,
Oh!
what the heck?
dropped the short sword, but got the Naginata back.
Owen is now
What a change up.
dual wielding with a very intense dual wield loadout right now.
Essentially giving the short sword to Owen.
Oh, but now, little jabbies. Seems like Owen's plan is to now use the Nagamaki as a polearm to kind of keep Jason's Naginata at bay while he gets some jabs here and there.
Seen
got
some
it.
butt
Oh,
stroking
butt
there.
Yeah, good quarterstaff technique. Let's push and
Pressing. Quite a standoff.
The fight has barely gone on in 2 minutes, and there's already been a huge weapon loadout exchange. And
Oh,
both are unclear of how to keep this going.
it seems they are reaching a bit of a stalemate here, both trying to get in. Oh,
Owen is probably feeling that exhaustion.
absolutely. Oh,
And as I say that, he's sprying around.
seems to be going
Jason-
past the limits of his
Oh.
endurance.
Jason's struggling to switch positions, and Owen's trying to capitalize, but he blocks, and
Oh,
gets a
over the
nice
arm.
little clutch on Jason's shield arm with the inverted grip. Good thing, good,
Little hoppy hoppy.
yeah, good little initiative for Owen to take the advantage while Jason's trying to recover.
Jason just in there with the pokes.
Some furious poking.
Oh! Looks like Owen took another hit to the jaw.
Second of the day, you know he's going to be dazed.
Oh yeah, it looks like he's slowing down, but he tosses the wow, and he grabs the Nagini. Oh, he is
And he's just
back into the
thrusting in.
camera.
Some
Jason's
shield bashes.
bashing, and he what the heck?
Goes for the short sword.
Owen is now dual wielding 2 large
Massive
weapons.
weapon.
That's got to take a toll on what remaining stamina he has left.
Could
Oh,
this-
and the whirls.
Gotta
Could this be
question
what
the
Owen? Could this be what
choice.
Jason's plan is? And Owen is getting jabs in on Jason's legs.
Well,
as he
Jason's
gets him-
getting some short jabs in there as well.
Yeah, around Owen's arms. Owen's switching to a
Oh.
double inverted grip, and he.
Oh, another
Get out of the
lunge.
way.
Oh, gets
oh.
a nice stomach slice. These are unusual tactics, but they are working.
Unusual tactics for an unusual match.
This is very I've never seen a fighter use this loadout.
Oh,
probably ever.
good
Oh, but
hits there.
and while tripping up Jason the Druid.
Some good action from both sides.
Well, luckily he landed on his feet.
Great technique with the one-handed, even with the Nagamaki.
Jason trying to keep control there with the shield and sword.
But those weapons have got to be taking a toll on him, though, right? Oh my gosh! Owen does have definitely the range advantage here, but
And doing his best to keep Jason out with his longer reach.
he's going for the double inverted again, and camera 3 has died. We can't really see what's happening. Oh, barely see what's happening. Oh, great.
Oh, we seem
What's
to be in
going
some
on?
sort of bind here.
They are both. Oh, Jason's now dropped short sword. Owen he's dragging that Nagamaki into Jason's
just
leg,
keeping
and
down, and
that
that's
is
time.
time.
Talk about a close match.
It was intense.
Yeah, exciting, invigorating. This is exactly what we want to see on this.
Great.
Unorthodox.
Very unorthodox, especially on Owen the Phoenix's side. I'm not entirely sure what he was thinking when he was dual wielding. And like with the first fight with Edwin, it probably would have been better if he just ditched the weapons and stuck to using the Nagamaki. Something he knows best.
Maybe the fatigue was starting to get to him.
Yeah, and the desperation set in. However, even with how unusual and how strange his decisions were, he did still pull some pretty big blows onto Jason the Druid. But I also, in the trade, that Jason also landed some mighty exchanges with quick short jabs of both the shield and his short sword.
Jason the Druid just really in there, just perfecting that jab and dash sort of thing. Just
Wasp
getting those hits.
tactics. Both combatants clearly began to feel the fatigue, though, towards the end of the fight.
Yes.
Even with the fight ending in a grapple like that.
Just when we thought that they had no gas left, they seemed to surpass the limits of their endurance to keep fighting as hard as they could.
We'll have to look through all the footage again, count the numbers, and see how this turned out.
Fighting with your friends can be dangerous. That's why we chose Hollow Earth Swordworks. All weapons here on Night Fight are safe and guaranteed never to break in full contact training or sparring. Every piece is handcrafted with beautiful, local, and exotic woods. For more information, visit their Etsy page at www.etsy.com/shop/hollowearthswords. Again, that is www.etsy.com/shop/hollowearthswords. Order today and become your own warrior. And now, back to our regularly scheduled program. Alright guys, I think it's time. Let's call in our challenger.
I don't understand. Where is he?
Guys, you got eyes on the Phoenix? What do you mean he's not in his room? What do you mean he's not at set at all? What are you talking about? Under the seat?
Piece of line paper.
Oh.
What does it say? Dear judges, I apologize that I can't attend the results.
Today's Gauntlet has made me realize something. Every fight should have purpose behind it. Night Fight's purpose is to entertain. And while that is its own dutiful purpose, I've realized it's not my own. I have to find my own way. That's not to say that I'm not grateful for this opportunity. My time on Night Fight will always be a treasured memory. I've done things I'm proud of, and things I regret. In the end, it doesn't matter if I become the tournament champion. If I win, that means everyone else lost. And that isn't true. We all enjoyed fighting against one another, with one another, building friendships and rivalries, helping each other improve and grow as fighters. The title is just a means to an end. Don't worry, I'm still going to be fighting, just as someone else, as something else. I will always be fighting on.
You say just be who you are, and then you stamped your name across my heart and held me close inside your arms, reminding me your love will never die, never die. I will rise and rise again from the ashes like a phoenix. I will rise when the world is burning down around me. In the light, I'm brought back to life from the ashes like a phoenix. I will rise when the world is burning down around me. From the ashes, we will rise. From the ashes, we will rise. From the ashes, we will rise. When the world is burning down around me.